And now we're good. Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited. As it's Monday, January 7th, not January, why did I say January? What the hell? June 17th, 2024. Tonight was Monday Night Raw. Holy crap, was it a great Monday Night Raw. This is the type of Raw you're supposed to get coming off of a pay-per-view. This is the kind of Raw you're supposed to get building towards the future and cool, unexpected things. We got the return of Seth Rollins, unexpected. We got the Wyatt Six, S-I-C-K-S, and a bunch of other really good stuff on this show. Braun Breaker and Sheamus, holy crap. Like, so much goodness. Otis launched Chad halfway across the ring, but as you see, I'm in a new place, still getting it all situated. Good enough. Let me know how my microphone sounds. I've been doing some tests on it all day and stuff. So let me know if you guys hear like an echo. Let me know if I don't sound great. Maybe I need to get a little bit louder or I'm too loud. You guys are going to be the judge for me. With that, though, we also got Luke over here with us. Luke, what'd you think of this episode of Monday Night Raw and how you been?
Honestly, we're back.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Oh, yeah.
And this Raw was amazing. Like, I'm not just saying that because of the ending, but this Raw was actually pretty good. It flew, like, it had a nice flow to it.
Mhm.
We got that unexpected return of Seth Rollins. We got the Drew stuff, which is very, like, interesting.
I already forgot about that because the whole Wyatt stuff is still stuck on my mind.
No, like, I'm still getting goosebumps from that Wyatt stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, this Raw was pretty darn good, and I'm excited to see how it's going to be used like next week.
Right. And I mean, the Drew stuff, there's going to be something on Friday because Punk's going to be on SmackDown from Chicago. So they're going to reference it there. Also, with the Drew stuff, Drew deactivated all of his social media. So it's like, what's going on? Drew going to go show up in TNA? Drew going to go with AJ to Pro Wrestling Noah? Who the hell knows? He said, screw this company, I quit. He's like, I can't do this anymore. So much to talk about. But with
Could you imagine if he showed up in TNA?
That'd be awesome. That'd be freaking awesome. Now, here's my thing, though.
Moose.
Here's my thing, though. I wish we didn't know he re-signed. It would make this so much better if we didn't know he signed a new contract. If we were still sitting here asking ourselves, is Drew under contract yet? Has Drew signed a new deal yet? This angle tonight would have been so much more like, holy crap. Like, I wouldn't think WWE would do a Drew McIntyre quit on the air for reals angle, but I would still be like, okay, they're doing this. Is he signed or like, you know, it would give it more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, we know he didn't quit. So it would give it more realism, I guess you would say, if we didn't know a month and a half ago that he had already signed, if that makes sense. But Kid Vicious,
like,
go for it.
Yeah, like what if they did the part where he re-signed, but WWE like didn't really announce it.
They didn't. The Rock announced it.
But yeah, let's say like nobody announced it, and like
right.
They try to like seem very real. The next thing you know, in TNA, everybody's like, "Oh, it's Drew Galloway," and everyone's like so convinced. Like Drew left WWE. Then after like that TNA run, we see him back in WWE.
I mean, that would be cool. It ain't going to be long. Him and Punk are probably one of the top 3 matches at SummerSlam. So we got five weeks till SummerSlam, I think. 1, 2.
Honestly, I would make that match the main event.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When is SummerSlam? Is it the first weekend?
Hang on, let me check.
24.
SummerSlam is August 3rd.
That's what I thought. So yeah, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. 6 weeks till SummerSlam.
And Money in the Bank is...
Oh, no, not 6 weeks till SummerSlam. Yeah, 6 weeks till SummerSlam. Money in the Bank is in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So
Wait, what's the date for Money in the Bank?
The 6th, the July 6th.
Gotcha.
So it's like we've got that with Drew. We know it's gonna be him and Punk at SummerSlam. Like it's got to be in Cleveland at the Browns Stadium. That's gonna be a big, huge match, and so we know they're gonna do that. But I would love to see Drew pop up somewhere else. In the meantime, again, like I said, 6 weeks. So maybe in the next month, shows up for TNA. Maybe,
I mean,
maybe he goes and does a wrestling revolver thing. Oh, I don't know. They kind of work with AEW guys, but you know what I'm saying. Oh, is Ethan Page got any shows coming up for his thing in Canada? Throw Drew on that.
I mean, if Drew was gonna show up somewhere, it would probably be either TNA or what if he went? Is ICW still a thing?
So he made an ICW appearance this past weekend. He did that. He did an ICW appearance over Clash of the Castle weekend. So yes,
I totally forgot ICW was still a thing. I thought they went out of business, which
I
I
did
don't
too.
really like to.
I did too.
Which I don't really like to predict that kind of stuff or
Right.
say like that company went out of business. But I honestly thought that they did because no one ever talked about them for years.
Yeah, right. And so, because I'm just trying to think, he could go to that and be on that new that Noah show AJ's doing on July 13th. That's a possibility. Show up there, but again, I wouldn't want him to be on a show with other WWE guys because it's like, oh, he got sent there by WWE. He didn't really quit. But if he just goes and shows up, wait. Between now and SummerSlam, we've got Slammiversary. You said Moose. Maybe Drew Galloway versus Moose is the main event of Slammiversary. Think about
Drew
that.
lose though?
Yes, you'd have
You
to.
have-
Well, no,
what?
not necessarily. They let Kenny win their belt and take it to AEW. They let Omega. You never know. Oh, no. Oh. My mind's going a million miles a minute. He beats Moose and then defends the TNA title against Punk at SummerSlam. I doubt they would
Yeah,
do
but
that much for TNA, but who knows?
No, they wouldn't. They're not going to do that.
I mean, they got WWE got Jordan Grace, and all they gave was Tatum Paxley. So
I mean, they're gonna do more though.
yeah, we'll see.
I mean, we kind of knew they were gonna get Tam Paxley after what
Yeah,
she
they
did.
teased it. Yeah, they teased it like 3 times. So
I don't know what they're gonna do with TNA in the meantime. I mean, it'd be a really scummy move
Well-
just to give them Tam Paxley in return.
if we want to talk TNA for a second, they've got that #1 contenders battle royal tomorrow on NXT. Rumor some TNA people may show up in that battle royal. Just a rumor.
Joe Hendry.
Nothing. Oh, I believe. Oh, okay. You want to hear something funny? So I was watching Against All Odds when we were.
Dude,
so,
people were so mad that Joe Hendry lost against Frankie Kazarian.
yeah. No. So I missed that match, but I made sure I watched the women's title match and the main event with Moose and Jeff Hardy. And when Joe
You mean
Hendry.
Matt Hardy?
That's what I meant. Yeah, Matt Hardy. And when Joe Hendry came out afterwards, I started singing his song, right? I'm like, I believe in Joe Hendry. And my daughter's like, what are you singing? And so I sang it again. And then she just goes, I believe I can fly. She don't know the Joe Hendry song, but she knows I believe I can fly. All she heard me say was believe.
No,
So-
but like people are so mad that Joe Hendry lost.
Oh, yeah, they
because
are.
He's your most popular wrestler right now, and you have him lose to Frankie Kazarian.
Hey, he showed up after the main event. So whatever they're doing with the Hardy group versus the system, he may be involved in.
Yeah, but you still can't have your
No, I get it.
have your most popular wrestler lose to a 46-year-old wrestler who's basically on the verge of retirement.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. But yeah, no, I would love to see Joe Hendry show up tomorrow. That would be amazing. That crowd, because it's that NXT crowd, I assume they're like the hardcores that know the TNA stuff. If we hear, I believe, they're going to lose their shit. But regardless.
No, because like
Go for it.
people already made signs
Oh, yeah.
for Joe Hendry. Like Joe Hendry even tweeted about those signs. They've
Apparently,
already made so many like Joe Hendry references on WWE television.
apparently in Scotland on like a billboard or something near where they did Clash of the Castle, his picture just popped up at one point over the weekend, which was kind of weird to me. I was like, what? Okay, then. But with that, we got so much to talk about here as far as this Monday Night Raw does go. And with that, I do want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, if you're watching on YouTube, you can help us out over there by hitting that subscribe button. That way you know when we go live. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we post things to the community tab. If you want to support the channel another way, you can become a channel member. Even if it's just at the $1 tier, hit that join button and support us here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited, whether that's as a channel member on YouTube or patreon.com/PWU Unlimited. And also remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. My logo's not popping. Oh, well, we'll fix it later. Whether you're getting something new, getting something old, claiming the free game, or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use our code PW Unlimited at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Again, use code PWU NLIMITED for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Right now, they are doing an Epic Savings Sale. Get upwards of 75% off of most games on this sale. And also remember, if you are claiming the free game, which right now is Redout 2, super fun racing game. Highly recommend go claim that game, and you get it for free. Put in code PWU NLIMITED at checkout. It only takes a couple of seconds, and it doesn't cost you anything else to support us. But with that, as far as the intro played again by accident. Sorry about that, guys. As far as tonight's Monday Night Raw does go, I'm going to leave this one up to Luke for a second. Do we just go from the start, or do you want to start with the massacre that ended the show?
Yeah, let's start with the start. Let's do what we always
do. We'll go in order then. We'll go in order because there's big news.
Let's save the best. Let's save the best for last.
Got it. Because there's big news right at the jump, pretty big news right in the middle, and huge news at the end. So it's like wherever we start, there's big news all around. But my notes froze. Here we go. Okay. So the show kicks off. So actually, I missed the first 2 or 3 minutes because I popped it on and go recap of the pay-per-view. Cool, I got time to finish dinner with the family. So we're sitting there eating. Go for it.
When they were doing the Then Now Forever, they were always doing that. They were also doing that QR code thing.
Okay, see, I didn't see that. Okay, cool.
So that's when people are like, oh boy, we're probably going to get that tonight.
Well, we knew we were getting it tonight. All the teases and everything pointed to tonight. Then they had more of the glitches when Drew was coming to the ring. I was just hoping they didn't attack Drew because that's something I wouldn't have liked. Anyways, so
they weren't gonna. I didn't think they would.
I thought it was maybe, but regardless. So we get go for it.
I'll save it.
All right.
No, I'll save
it.
I'll save it.
So we get the recap, and I'm like, all right, I got time. I'm sitting there finishing dinner, and I just get a text that on all caps says, "Holy fuck." And I'm like, that'll be Raw related. I look down, and Seth Rollins is on the screen. And I'm like, what? Okay, yeah, nope, dinner's over. I'm going. Seth Rollins is back, everybody. He was injured before. Actually, he was injured, back in January, February. Worked through the injury through WrestleMania. His wife, Becky, said he had surgery, and he's back 2 months later. Holy crap. I did not expect this. Seth came out wearing all black. He did not cut his hair. Remember when we saw the pictures of him from the Kentucky Derby and wearing the same similar style hat? It's just he has it up in a very, very, very tight knot in the back or whatever, man bun. So it looks short, but it's not short. Maybe it's shorter. I don't know. Seth Rollins comes out, huge ovation from the crowd. Commentary's playing it up like he's been gone for a year, which was kind of weird because they're like, "Welcome back, Seth. You've been gone for so long. We've missed you." And da, da, da. I'm like, this dude was here 2.5 months ago, if that. Anyways, Seth comes back, crowd's singing his song. He finally cuts him off and goes, "Hey, need to get this out. If I let you go, you'll sing all night. Welcome to Monday Night Rollins." Rollins says, "Well, I'm back for one reason and one reason only. Because I want my championship back. I want the World Heavyweight Championship." He looks up at the briefcases hanging high above the ring and says, "There's maybe only one way for me to get back to the title. Got to win that. I know how to do it. I've done it before." He said, "Maybe I need to win Money in the Bank." And that's when the champion comes out. Damian Priest makes his way out to the ring. Huge boos from the crowd in Corpus Christi, Texas. He said, "Hey, good to see you back, Seth." He wanted to tell Seth straight up that, I wanted to cash in on you. I did what you did. Cashed in at WrestleMania. We both won our first world championships here in WWE by cashing in Money in the Banks at WrestleMania. Priest then said that everything's running fine and he's doing fine as champion with Seth gone, though this was no longer Monday Night Rollins. Rollins says he respects Damian Priest, and Rollins says that he had, a similar path as Priest mentioned, and then Seth talks about it as well. He's like, "We both are leaders of groups, even though I had the better group in the Shield. You've got the Judgment Day." He said, "And the differences between us was, well, Rollins actually grew a set. Rollins realized that he had to stand on his own 2 feet." Rollins asked Priest what kind of champion he really wanted to be. Does he want to be the greatest? Maybe not just the greatest champion, one of the greatest of all time, or a footnote in the story of the Judgment Day. Priest recalled Rollins beating him when he first became world champion. He said, "You became world champion, and I was your first defense. You beat me, but I've gotten better since then. That motivated me to get even better." Priest says he wants to make it clear that Rollins was not better than him now, and he has gotten better. Priest then told him not to worry about the ladder match. "I'll defend the title against you at Money in the Bank. Me versus you. No ladders, no briefcases needed." Rollins was like, "This is a trap. I ain't dumb. I know how this works. Where's Judgment Day? They're going to come jump me?" He's like, No. Judgment Day don't even know I'm out here. I'm offering you an opportunity to fight for the world championship." Rollins is like, "All right. Well, if that's what we got here, I'll take it." Rollins says that this will always be Monday's Night Rollins as long as he's around, whether he's champion or not. I thought this was a good, effective, simple, and I like that it was simple, set up the title match. The champ comes out and says, "I always wanted to fight you. I did fight you once and you beat me. So I want a chance as now the champion to beat you." What'd you think of all this?
Pretty good segment. I mean, do you think Seth beats Damian at Money in the Bank?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Because I am all for Seth versus Gunther at SummerSlam.
So here's the thing. I don't think Gunther loses at SummerSlam. So do you put the title on Seth? Do you put the title on Seth just for him to lose it the next 2 weeks against Gunther?
I mean, if you want to do something with the Judgment Day as like them possibly splitting up and do something with them at SummerSlam, then yeah.
Because that's where I'm conflicted right now of the whole. So if Seth wins, which I think Seth should win, if Seth wins, I want Gunther winning the title at SummerSlam. So it's like Seth's going to have a 2-week reign, 3-week reign max. Let me see. Hold on.
But Seth doesn't need to hold the belt that long, though. He already had his
True.
nice run as world champion. He doesn't really need another long one.
It'd be 4 weeks between Money in the Bank and SummerSlam. 4 weeks. So it's like, I could see it. And then you also you would get your babyface versus heel match instead of with Damian Priest, heel versus heel. Even though Judgment Day are like, they are heels, but they kind of aren't heels at the same time. I don't know. But that way, if Seth is the champion, you do get your babyface versus heel thing with Seth as the baby, Gunther as the heel. So We'll see how
Yeah.
it goes. I think Seth wins. If I'm making a prediction now, I think Seth wins.
I mean, hey, everybody thought Drew McIntyre was going to beat Damian last Saturday.
That's for sure. I
I knew that. I mean, I kind of knew that Damian was going to win.
that's what I thought.
I mean, I knew Punk was going to screw Drew over.
Give me 1 second. I got a message. What, the Wyatt thing? Hold on. No. Oh, they're sending me someone sent me the thing of the new shirts like you did. I thought I was getting some news about the Wyatts.
Did you see that video that fans were booing Samantha Irvin after she said, "Please drive home safe"?
Yeah, because they were mad. But that's good. That's good. Because now you're getting the fans even more behind Drew. Like,
Yeah.
But granted, that's in Scotland. You're gonna come back to the United States. I mean, Punk's gonna get the freaking hero's welcome on Friday in Chicago.
Yeah,
So,
but here's the thing, though. Like, WWE is not booking for live crowds; they're booking for the storyline.
exactly.
Like, yeah, it sucks that Drew didn't get like a huge championship win in Scotland. You know, it sucks. I get it, but at the same time, they're not booking just to get a big pop.
Here's my question.
Like, they're booking.
And I know we're jumping ahead here, but are we gonna get maybe Drew and Punk at SummerSlam, then some sort of a rematch at Bash at Berlin, only to go to what's it called? Bad Blood potentially in October, Hell in a Cell. Here's my question for you. Okay, I posed this question earlier today. The rumor right now is that the October pay-per-view is going to be Bad Blood in Atlanta, Georgia, with a Hell in a Cell match on that card. Now, think about this. Atlanta, Georgia. What would you rather do for this show's Hell in a Cell match? Drew and Punk? Or something in Cody Rhodes and somebody because they're in Atlanta? Or is it too early to kind of predict?
I mean, it is a little too early to predict, but if it's Atlanta, you gotta do a Hell in a Cell with Cody. Like, you have to.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, the big draw in Atlanta is going to be Cody, and especially if it's Cody in a cell. Now, Cody and who? Cody and Solo? Honestly, if it was me,
It's a little too early.
I would turn Randy Orton by SummerSlam or right after SummerSlam and build up to Randy and Cody in the Hell in a Cell match.
That's what I would do. I was about to say Cody and Andrade.
World champion versus the Speed champion?
I mean, he might not be the Speed champion by then. They could always drop it to someone like a Tyler Bate or something.
Yeah.
Or Johnny Gargano.
So.
And you could always Speed champion doesn't even matter anyway. That's only.
I mean, I like Speed. Really, I think the concept of Speed is really cool. Okay, I haven't talked about this before on air, so I want to get this out there really fast. Here's my one gripe with Speed. The thing about Speed is they're 5-minute matches, and these wrestlers are working hard to get their win within 5 minutes. So are we supposed to believe that they're not working as hard in every other match to try to win in 5 minutes or less? Or am I just overthinking it?
I mean,
because if Andrade can beat Ricochet in 4 minutes to win the Speed title, then why are we getting a 15-minute, or 12-minute Ricochet Ilya Dragunov match on a Monday Night Raw?
Probably because of the time limit, so it makes them work even harder. But at least if there's no time limit, then they don't have to go as hard. They can save their energy.
But that's my thing. It's so are you trying to say that they're working harder in the Speed matches or not? I don't know. I'm overthinking it. I think I'm just overthinking it.
I think they want us to think just because there's a time limit, they have to work extra hard.
Right. So moving forward, Chad Gable and the Alpha Academy were shown in a video that said earlier today, entering Adam Pearce's office. Gable was pissed at Alpha Academy and said it was their fault that he wasn't the Intercontinental Champion and wants another shot at the belt. Pierce is like, hey, I get it. You want to win the belt, but you also have had a lot of opportunities and you failed at all of them. So back of the line, bud. Gable gets all mad and says, well, if I need to prove myself, then give me a match tonight. And Pierce is like, you want a match tonight? I got you. And that's the next match. Chad Gable and Braun Strowman. Now, here's my thing. They need to cut out this Braun Strowman run around the ring thing. Because if Braun Breaker's going to do it 20 times better, you don't need Braun kind of galloping slowly around the ring trying to do it. When you got the other Braun doing his run around spear. Oh my God, so great. That's my one thing. I loved Braun Strowman doing his run around the ring, tackle the guy, whatever thing. I loved it. I've always thought it was cool. It was something special for Braun Strowman. But now that Braun Breaker is doing it with way faster speed and more oomph with that spear, now Braun looks like just a slow, big old guy.
Dude, Braun Strowman's look so slow now.
Apparently, he's got really bad knee issues. So
probably just the injuries are just catching up to him.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like it was Braun's. I'm saying
also,
Braun. Go for it.
Also, he is 40 years old though. He's getting up there.
True.
So he's gonna be slower.
Yeah, but the whole thing, it's like you got Breaker doing it now. Strowman don't need to do it. Pass it to the new kid.
Which, hang on. Which I shouldn't say he's getting up there in age. I mean, Tama Tonga, he's 41 and he looks amazing now. Even higher. The WWE executives are like praising how well he's been.
Yeah, Braun is 40. Or Strowman? How old is Braun Breaker?
Breaker's got to be at least like late 20s.
So I'm thinking 26, mid 20s.
Yeah, he's only 20. Yeah, he's only 26.
Guy's easily got 15 more years in WWE, if not longer.
I'd say at least 20.
If he wants to go that long. If he wants to go that long. So as Chad Gable's making his way out to the ring.
I can see him going that long, actually. 20 years.
I mean, it just all depends on how he works out in WWE. I mean, there's been a lot of guys where I thought they're going to be lifers in WWE 20 years. I mean, Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth only made it 19.
Mr. Kennedy, people thought.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
He wanted
I loved Mr. Kennedy. I thought he was going to be the next big thing. Then he got hurt when he won Money in the Bank, had to drop the edge, and everything went to shit from there.
Like WWE wanted to push him to the moon at one point.
So Michael Cole's actually making fun of Chad Gable on his way to the ring, wishes him luck. Tells us that between facing Gunther and Sami Zayn for the IC belt, Chad has lost 5 times trying to go for the Intercontinental Championship. And so it's like, God damn. What are they going to do next? I mean, he teased wanting to win the world title because we saw later when the Alpha Academy left him, he was like, you know what? I'm going to win Money in the Bank. I'm going to become the world champion. Oh, no, now he got killed tonight. But regardless, I guess this is a squash because, like, he didn't, unless I wasn't paying much attention, which I don't know. I didn't feel like Gable did much. I thought just Braun ran him over. They had the funny spot with the Tozawa thing, and that was about it. Like, Braun was fully in control early. We go to a break early. We come back. Braun signals his run. He runs around the ring. Chad throws Tozawa in the way, so he grabs Tozawa and throws Tozawa at Chad. Strowman then hits the power slam in the middle of the ring later and then just wins it. Like, it's a 6.5 minute match that I felt like, and maybe it's because we saw half of it like during commercial, but I just felt like not much happened. Any thoughts on the match?
Not a lot. I mean, sucks for Gable. Like, I thought he was going to win the IC title at Clash at the Castle.
So did I.
Like, once I heard the news that he re-signed, I was like, oh yeah, he's winning the belt.
Yep.
He has to. And then they could have gone the route of he wins the belt. They could be like, you know what? I don't need you guys. And then he gets the Creed Bros.
I still think that's where we're leading to, especially after Otis saying I'm done. But honestly, if I'm gonna be frank here, I think Sammy and Braun Breaker's the bigger match, with Braun beating Sammy for the belt.
I think what they could do is have Braun hold the belt, till like January, like till they move into that Netflix era. Then you can just have him drop it, then have him go after the world title during that era.
Right? Man, screw it. Braun Breaker. Oh, I got it. Braun Breaker wins the Royal Rumble, challenges Cody Rhodes, and then you've got, second generation champion versus second generation wrestler. Who's the better second generation wrestler, and who's going to come out of WrestleMania the world champion?
Yeah, Braun Breaker beat Cody at Mania.
Maybe. I would actually, if I'm putting a percentage, I would put it more in favor of Breaker. Maybe like a 70-30 Braun Breaker. Right now.
It honestly wouldn't hurt Cody because
Nope.
Cody already had his moment.
Mm-hmm.
It would help Breaker a lot more because he's younger.
And especially if Cody holds that belt for a full year.
Right.
But we got one Braun Breaker.
Right now.
Go for it.
Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
Oh, no, go for it. Go. I like that.
But right now, I mean, I think it would benefit Breaker more because, he's younger. And everyone keeps saying they're going to use him as, like, the new Brock Lesnar. What? Ooh. Oh. They're repeating, like, Brock Lesnar beating The Rock for the world title.
Mm-hmm. They're just
like,
using...
Cody's going to be like The Rock. Yep. And Breaker's going to be like Brock Lesnar.
Exactly. I mean, he's just showing up, beating people's asses. What did Brock do when he came in? Just ran to the ring, grabbed somebody, powerbomb F5, bing, bang, boom. Here's a tidbit if you want to go trivia for Brock. Who was the first person that Brock Lesnar gave an F5 to on live WWE television? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Maven. Maven took Brock's first F5 on the main roster on TV.
It's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, it was Maven. He said it on, I think it was either on his YouTube channel or on the Chris Van Vliet podcast episode he was on. It was one of the two. He said it, but he said recently that he was Brock's first F5 on TV.
Maven's YouTube channel has been incredible.
Oh, I love Maven's YouTube channel. Maven's got Maven's YouTube channel is great because I just like the way he does everything. The production is good. They're learning. You can tell that him and the guy that he does it with are learning, getting better, doing things differently every time, this and that. Who else has a really good similar style, kind of? Because his whole thing is teaching people about the business, kind of. It's like, hey, here's behind the scenes information on pro wrestling. Here's this on Resident. Another person that's got a really, I wouldn't say he's as good of an on-screen personality on YouTube as Maven, but Stevie Richards is another one who does a lot of like insider stuff and like, hey, here's why this guy's punches are good, or here's how to throw a good punch in wrestling, or here's why you throw it this way, here's why you do this in matches. Stevie Richards does a lot of that. Like he breaks things down and tries to teach people about pro wrestling and the mechanics and fundamentals and different things in it. So that's another one. If you like Maven, you may like Stevie Richards. So as far as the post,
I've never heard of Stevie Richards.
You've never heard of Stevie Richards? You ever heard of the Blue World Order in the ECW?
I heard of Blue Cane.
Oh Lord, Blue Cane. Stevie Richards. You ever heard of Victoria back in the day? They were teamed up together, Victoria and Stevie Richards. They were a thing on Raw for a while back in the day, in like 2004. It's before your time, a young kid.
Hey, stop calling me young, man. 21.
Oh, no. Don't get me started on getting called young. I got called pretty dang young the other day.
Yeah, that's a compliment. How old are you, 34?
35. I had to do the math for a second.
Actually a compliment right there.
Well, no, because someone, where we moved in, the neighbor comes over and was introducing himself and then asked my buddy, the roommate, was like, hey, is this your son? I'm like, what? We're like the same age.
Actually a compliment right there. If I was 35 and someone called me that young, I would take it as a compliment. People still call me a baby.
Oh, all the way till I was like 27, people will still ask me if I was in high school. Like 25, 26, 27. People are like, oh, you go to the high school? No, not for like 5-6 years now.
You want to hear a funny story?
Go for it.
So I was in New York last week with my mom. We were at a restaurant. We both ordered like cocktails. Server didn't ID me. Then like when we got our food, like the manager of the restaurant walked up to our table and said, "How you guys doing?" And we said good. And then she looked at me and said, "I'm sorry, sir. I'm gonna have to check your ID." I gave her my ID and she's like, "Okay, you're good."
That's
Because
funny.
I'm surprised the server never asked
Right?
for your ID. I just thought it was funny that the manager had to ask for ID. 'Cause if I was under 21, that server probably would have gotten fired.
Oh, yeah. So, post-match. Remember how we said there's a bunch of newsworthy stuff here? Here's the second one. Second newsworthy thing here. So, Gable loses. He's on his hands and knees in the middle of the ring. He looks over and he points at Tozawa. He points at Maxine. He points over at Otis and he's like, get in the ring. Get in here now. And so they slowly climb up in the ring. He tells Tozawa to get right in front of him because he's blaming Tozawa for the loss. And Maxine steps in front of Chad, or in the middle of Chad and Tozawa. Chad's looking at her like, what do you think you're doing? And he takes her crutch from her. Remember, she's like, her ankle clashed at the castle. She's got a walking boot on, but she's got the one crutch. So he takes her crutch from her and he throws it. And he's like, get out of the ring. You don't need to be in here. He's just talking down to Maxine. So like Otis helps him Dupree out of the ring and Gable smacks Tozawa down to the mat. Otis has had enough. Otis hears the slap, the smack, the push, all of that. Turns around and this man shoves Chad Gable so hard that Chad flies up from the middle of the ring and lands in the corner. Like he hooks Chad. And Chad's in the corner like, no. Otis rips the shirt off. He's looking down at Chad. He's all pissed off like he's going to go after him. Crowd's chanting, you suck at Gable. And he kind of stops himself. Otis, that is. He doesn't fully go after Chad. He shoved him out into the corner. And then he gets out. He helps Maxine to the back. Tozawa leaves with them and everything. But, hey, we finally got Otis standing up to Chad Gable. What'd you think of the post-match here?
It was a pretty good post match, not gonna lie. WrestleVotes kind of spoiled it.
Oh, when he said big night for Otis? Yeah.
Yeah. Once I saw that, I was like, oh, Otis is probably gonna turn on Chad.
You see, I didn't see that till like 5 minutes before it happened. So it was more of a kind of like a shock to me, like a surprise, like finally. But like this was the week they had to do it. If they would have waited any longer, another week, another 2, another 3, then I would have been like, they're stretching it out just a little too far. And I even said it last week that I thought, the Clash of the Castle should have been that moment. But hey, you wait 2 more days, it's fine. But it was almost getting to the point where it was stretched out too far, and they finally, did good on it tonight.
Yeah, like WrestleVotes, they tweet a lot of a lot of their stuff is right, but like,
yeah,
they keep spoiling so much stuff. Like, stop spoiling it.
Mm.
It's like an hour before the show starts.
Ain't that the gig? That's the job, to bring the fans the backstage news.
I know when like Butch became Pete Dunne again, the hour before SmackDown
Yep.
started, they tweeted Pete Dunne.
Yep. Excuse me. So they then have Pat McAfee analyze the whole Judgment Day Liv Morgan stuff. Pat analyzes it with some replays, and it's Pat Strader. Even reveals that Finn is the one that stole the hotel room key of Liv Morgan. Pat then called Judgment Day assholes, which was not censored.
I love this Pat McAfee stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see Finn grabbing the hotel key right here with the yellow arrows. And
what he should have done, but I don't know if they want to, in storyline reveal that he's actually married. They should have been like, it would have been great if Pat would have been like, you see him grabbing this hotel key right here? He's a married man, Cole. That would have been great. Also, speaking of married man, they're doing all this stuff of Liv coming on to Dom, But Dom's whatever with Rhea, and he's got his damn wedding ring on from his real marriage. This whole time, Dom's always got his wedding ring on.
Maybe it's open relationship. I don't know. Those are real things.
So, also speaking of the Pat McAfee stuff, I forgot to mention this earlier. So, did you see? I think they revealed it last week. Braun Strowman got a new T-shirt. It says, "One big SOB," because Pat always calls him one big son of a bitch. Well, the crowd tonight was chanting, "One big SOB, one big SOB." I'm like, oh, that's great. I might need to get that T-shirt. So Judgment Day met in the back. Balor told Priest that he had his back if he needs it with Rollins. Priest kind of brushed that aside and said, well, what's up with that hotel room key? Balor was offended, said that he took the key, so Dom didn't have it. They don't trust Dom with Liv. They think Dom is going to give in to the temptation. And then he said, oh, I threw the key away. Priest didn't mean anything by it. He was just asking. He's like, Ben, you've been a little distracted recently. You need to focus. You got a big match tonight. We want you winning Money in the Bank, but you got to qualify first. Balor's like, hey, it's all good. Balor told him that he planned on cashing in on the other champ. And then they laughed. Dom finally frantically came in. He's like, where's my purple cow vest? I can't find my vest. Help me find my vest. And then Carlito laughed and said, must have left it in Liv's hotel room. And then the rest of Judgment Day kind of looked at Carlito like, ain't funny, bro. Ain't funny. Any thoughts on the segment?
That was a funny segment. I mean, I wouldn't say it was anything like, I mean, it might have been a little like newsworthy, but it was only the vest. Other than that, it was just funny.
It was more set up for that show long thing going forward.
Yeah.
So speaking of going forward, we finally learned who the first person qualified for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match is. The leader of Damage Control, former women's champion Io Sky, as she defeated both Kiana James and Zelina Vega tonight on Monday Night Raw in an 8.5-minute match. So the match starts off, and about 90 seconds in, they go to commercial. Question for you about going to commercial. Did you notice they did it? I can't remember what the first match they did it in was, but they also did it in Braun Breaker and Sheamus, where basically it's slow motion replay. Halfway through the replay, they go to break. What are your thoughts on it? It's kind of weird to me, but it's something we got to get used to because it's a different transition to a break. What did you think of it? Or did you not notice it? Did you notice it?
So what? It's halfway through the match, they went into a commercial?
Oh, no. So you know how usually in WWE, a big high, it was the Carlito Dragon Lee match they did it, because I remember the spot now. So you know how a lot of times in WWE, the wrestler hits the big dive and then they go to commercial. Well, tonight,
yeah,
Dragon Lee did that spot where he runs, jumps over the ropes. Carlito's on the apron. He gives them the Hurricane Rana. Carlito takes the big bump off the apron. And then they showed the replay in slow motion. They didn't even show the full replay. And then once they got halfway through the replay, then they cut it to break. I guess people are saying that it's similar to they do it in the NFL. They'll hit the replay and then go straight to break off of a replay with football. I've never really noticed it, but I don't know. It was so different that I was like, I got to get used to it. I don't know if I liked it. It's just another production thing that they're trying out in WWE. But yeah, I don't know if you noticed it either with the whole.
I didn't really notice it. No.
Yeah, because I noticed it twice in the Dragon Lee match and the Sheamus match, where it was basically show a replay, you get to the break. It's right after the same. It's instead of just going high spot break, it's high spot, kind of transition into the replay, and then we're in the break. It's they want more of a transition instead of just oh, what a great plancha to the outside, what a great dive, we'll see you in a moment. They just need more of a little transition. I don't know. Weird. We'll see how it plays out over the next couple of weeks. As far as this match does go with Io and Kiana James and Zelina Vega, it went about 90 seconds. They go to a break. Come back, and Sky made her way to the top rope. Vega used a 619 to knock her off the middle rope. Vega then hit a code red, went for the pin. 1-2. Kiana Jane breaks it up. Liv Morgan then comes down to the ring wearing Dom's purple cow vest. And it was kind of weird. His commentary started arguing basically over what it says on the vest. Michael Cole's like, oh, Liv's covering it up with her hand, but I think that's a DM for Dominic Mysterio, or maybe it's a JD for Judgment Day. And Pat just goes, Cole, I think it just says Dom. I think it says Dom. And Cole goes, whatever it says, I think that's Dominic's vest. So, I don't know. Does Liv think she's part of Judgment Day, so now she's got to screw the LWO, and so that's why she's distracted Zelina? I didn't get this at all, and this kind of like pulled me out of it. I didn't like it. So she distracts Zelina Vega. James knocks Vega off the apron. Sky hits James with a moonsault and pins her 1-2-3. Io Sky is qualified for Money in the Bank. What do you think of the match and the Liv Morgan stuff? I didn't like the Liv stuff.
Nah, I didn't like the Liv stuff either. I didn't care for it.
Yeah. Match is just okay. Weirdly, no. Was it this match that got the "This is awesome" chant, or was it the other Damage Control match in the tag match? Because there was one where like 3 people were chanting "This is awesome," and so Pat goes, "Yeah, the crowd's right. This is awesome." I can't remember if it was this match or the tag.
I think it was
match.
the other Damage Control match.
Because I remember they say something about Damage Control and "This is awesome," but yeah. But this is just a match.
I mean, I kind of knew that Io was going to win.
Oh, yeah. Based off of who was in it, there's no way it wasn't going to be Io. No way.
Because, like, it wasn't going to be Kiana James. It was her first match. I mean, they're not going to put her straight into Money in the Bank.
Second match. Didn't she fight Natty last week on Raw?
I don't recall that one.
I believe so. I can tell you right now.
I don't think I watched that Raw. I should have, actually.
Let's see.
Yeah, I didn't watch that Raw because I was on.
Yeah, you were gone.
I remember.
Go for it.
No, because I remember I watched the clip of like Ricochet. That was like the only thing I honestly got out of that Raw.
Yeah, it was Kiana James's first Raw match was last week against it was 2 weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago against Natalya in a 3-minute match. And I remember I was like, everyone was praising that match, saying it looked so good. And I was like, felt very scripted to me, like choreographed. But Kiana James looked really good tonight. Like, she looked better. This is one of the better performances I've seen of her recently. I saw one of her main event matches recently as well against Natalya that was not bad. But I thought that Kiana James came off really well tonight. So that's the positive coming out of this. And of course, Io in Money in the Bank. The big thing is Io won it last year, so she's got a chance to repeat. I don't think any woman has ever repeated.
Nah. I mean, I don't really expect Io to do a repeat. I mean,
right.
She won it last year. I don't think she repeats. The only way I see her doing a repeat is if she does a failed cash-in, because I don't think we've seen a woman do a failed cash-in yet.
Let's see. Carmella,
Alexa Bliss,
Alexa Bailey, Liv. And no fails.
Well, Asuka, but Asuka's was technically for the championship.
Asuka didn't have to. That's the whole thing. I didn't count Asuka because Asuka's wasn't a cash-in. Asuka was just ended up getting handed the belt. So that's why I think
because her whole thing was Becky. Her whole thing was Becky was pregnant. So basically, if you won Money in the Bank, you basically won the Women's World Championship.
And we didn't know that till that next Monday, anyways. But still, so I don't count Asuka's winning Money in the Bank, to be completely honest, because of the whole she didn't have to cash in.
Yeah,
Becky just said.
Did you see the?
Yeah. The Joe Gacy tweet.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll talk about it later. Joe Gacy's the pig, I would assume.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Yeah, so Joe Gacy basically confirmed that he's one of the Wyatt members.
So, and then that was going to be my question: Are they going to play just their characters, or are we going to know who they actually are? You know what I mean? Is Nikki Cross going to say, "Oh, I'm Sister Abigail, and I'm only Sister Abigail"? Is Uncle Howdy going to say I'm also Bo Dallas? Is Eric Rowan also going to say I'm Rambling Rabbit? You know, so we'll get to that when we get to that at the end. But so much cool stuff to talk about. But regardless, yes, the This Is Awesome chant was during this match, and it was like 3 people in the crowd. I'm now scrolling down on my notes, and I see that I wrote it down right here. But next up, we get some updates on Ricochet. Basically, they're talking about how Braun Breaker killed him last week, and then Michael Cole said it'll be a long time before we ever, or if we ever, see Ricochet back in WWE, confirming that he's gone. That's it. He's done. Kaput. So they also show Alicia Taylor is doing commentary as Samantha Irvin has the week off. We'll be back next Monday on Raw. Sami Zayn then makes his way down to the ring. They plugged his comedy show coming up in Toronto on July 4th. Sami Zayn and Friends do Toronto. Tickets go on sale Wednesday, general public. If you use the code FRIENDS, you can get it on the early access of those tickets tomorrow. Sami Zayn comes down to the ring. Intercontinental Champion gets a good reaction. Said that he is still proud, so proud to be the Intercontinental Champion. He admitted, though, it wasn't easy to beat Chad Gable. Chad Gable is always hard in the ring. That after all their personal stuff started because Chad lost to him, well, things did really become personal. Said it was appropriate that it ended with him beating Gable in a straight-up wrestling match. Zayn says now it's time to move on. Move on from Chad, but it's going to be hard to move on from the Alpha Academy because I know how it feels to be in a group and not be appreciated, be talked down to, be felt, be made to feel bad at nothing you've really done wrong. Zayn said that he left the Bloodline when he knew that it was time. Jay left the Bloodline when it was ready for him to leave, and that Otis and the others will know when the time is right. He said with that, it's time to look forward and do his job defending the Intercontinental Championship. And literally, he says, time to look forward to who's next to face me. And I just go, gotta be Braun Breaker. And boom, out comes Braun Breaker. Like, they're building him up. I thought maybe they put Braun in Money in the Bank, but nope, they're just going to go straight to giving him the IC title, I think. Breaker makes his way out to the ring. Breaker didn't say much because Zayn knew why he was there. He has left plenty of bodies behind him, and Zayn was going to be the next. Breaker said that it's time for him to take the Intercontinental Championship. Zayn held the title up, and the crowd chanted his name. Out would then come Sheamus, another man that keeps challenging for this belt and losing. Sheamus told Zayn that he's been chasing that belt for 5 years. It's the only thing he needs, and he'll do anything to get his hands on it. Really making, that I want to be a Grand Slam champion a big deal. Crazy thing to think. When you think of Grand Slam champions, still crazy to think that Miz is the only 2-time Grand Slam champion. Miz is the only one that's won every belt at least twice.
Really?
Yeah. Miz is the only 2-time Grand Slam champion. He's the only person to win the World, the IC, the US, and the tag titles, all of them twice.
I'm still surprised John Cena was never a Grand Slam champion.
Never won the IC title, right?
He never even had an opportunity for the belt.
Nope. Not that I could think. Trying to think. No, not that I could think of.
He never had an opportunity for the belt. The only time he went after a belt was for either United States Championship or the World Heavyweight title, and I think he won the tag belt once.
Him and Otunga had the tag titles at one point when they were doing the whole Nexus stuff.
Yeah, then they had Otunga handed over to Slater and Gabriel.
Yep. There's that. I mean, I'm trying to think hold on. Let me look at all these. Let me look at John Cena's championship wins really fast. John.
Pretty sure he was tag champs with
Batista.
Shawn Michaels.
No. Yeah.
Batista?
No. You're right. It was Shawn Michaels leading into their WrestleMania 22 match, I believe. No, Batista won it with Ray before they had a world title match, I was thinking. But let me see. Pulling up John Cena's championship wins. see, go down to the bottom of his Wikipedia page. In WWE, John Cena has won, and I'm not going to count if he won anything in OVW. He has won 13-time world WWE champion, 3-time world heavyweight champion, 5-time United States champion. Then, here we go. WWE Tag Team Championships twice. Once with The Miz, once with David Otunga. Okay, I was right here. World Tag Team Champions twice. Once with Batista, once with Shawn Michaels. So he did win tag titles with Batista. I thought so. I don't remember when that was, but I remember it from something. Yeah, never the IC title. I don't think what other belts were around then. Never the 24/7, never the Hardcore Championship. That was still around towards the beginning of his run. Never the Cruiserweight Championship because he was always too big for that.
Or
Two-time.
the Hardcore Championship.
Right. Was that what? That got defunct in like 2006, maybe? 2005? Let me see. Yeah. So yeah, he did win it with Batista once. And he was tag champs with Miz once too. That I don't remember at all. At all. Banks says also he never won the ECW championship. True. Never won one of them ECW titles. So moving.
Did he have an opportunity for the ECW belt against RVD?
No, what it was RVD won Money in the Bank, and then RVD said, I'm cashing in my briefcase. I'm the ECW champion, but I'm cashing in my briefcase at One Night Stand for the title. He basically told Cena when he's going to have the match. Edge then screws Cena. RVD walks out the champ. RVD is now double champion, WWE champion, ECW champion. Him and Sabu get busted for weed, and then they take the title off of him.
Oh, I don't remember that part.
Yep. Him and Sabu get pulled over. They have too much weed on them. They get in trouble. That's when weed was completely outlawed in WWE. And they pulled the belt off of them.
And then they just give it back to Cena or Edge?
I don't remember how that all went. We can look it up really fast.
I think that's probably when they did the whole spinner thing with the Radar spinner belt.
You know, he hated that, right?
Yeah, he said in an interview he hated that belt.
Yep. He said it in the Chris Van Vliet interview. Let me see.
That's probably why they never did the Legacy belt with the spinner.
Where is it? Already defeated, let's see. So Van Dam, here we go. On the July 3rd episode of Monday Night Raw, Van Dam lost the WWE Championship to Edge in a triple threat match that also featured John Cena. The next night, July 4th, on ECW, he lost the ECW Heavyweight Championship to The Big Show. And then later on that night, it was announced that RVD had been suspended for 30 days without reason given. In reality, WWE suspended RVD for 30 days as a result of his recent drug possession arrest. So yeah, won the belt. And then not long after, dropped it to Edge in a triple threat match on Monday Night Raw. It's him and Sabu and their weed. And then the funny thing about it all, he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he gives Vince a gift. Specialized RVD weed paper. Old rolling paper.
Wonder how long of a reign he would have had if he never got busted for weed.
I mean, it was cool to see him with both the WWE Championship and the ECW belts. Like, oh, double champ. WWE was not doing that back then, double champ thing. If they were doing double champ, it's because they were going to merge these belts. Like they merged European and the Hardcore, and then the IC and the European and all that. When they were doing double champs back then, it was to merge belts together. So to see RVD with both belts was really, really cool, especially because, you know, he called his shot from Money in the Bank. He won Money in the Bank and then said, I ain't going to sneak attack you, John. I'm going to tell you right when you're going to defend that title. So getting back to Monday Night Raw, Braun Breaker was offended that Sheamus interrupted. Sheamus came out, said that I'll do anything to win that belt. Breaker was offended that Sheamus acted like he wasn't even there and said, "Are you out of your mind?" But the way he said it was kind of funny. Breaker didn't care about Sheamus's sob story and said, "I'm going to kick your ass." Sheamus then called Breaker the new hot kid, but he had no skin in the game as far as the IC title was concerned. Sheamus told him to get to the back of the line or else. And I'm like, no, you or else. You've done nothing to earn it either, Sheamus. You've just been around for a long time. Zayn was then amused and was like, hey, yeah, go talk to Adam Pearce. You guys fight it out. And then whoever's the better man can fight me for the belt. And that's exactly what we got. Later on, we got Sheamus and Braun Breaker for the title.
I mean, number one contenders.
Well, no more contenderships. No more contenderships. My bad. So Dragon Lee comes out to the ring. Last week on Raw, Dragon Lee and Ray were dressed very similar in their tag match, the 6-man tag. So Michael Cole got them mixed up. Like literally the only difference was Dragon Lee's got that tail on his mask. And so Michael Cole got confused by him last week. So when they're coming down to the ring, it was Dragon Lee in the middle, Ray's on one side. I think it was Zelina maybe on the other side with them. And Michael Cole or Pat McAfee goes, just so you know, Cole, Dragon Lee's the one in the middle. And Cole goes, I know, Pat. It's a singles match. He's the only masked guy in the match, so I'm good. So they go out. They're in the ring, and it's like 10 freaking minutes before Carlito even comes out. They make their way out to the ring. They go to break. We come back. Jackie Redmond's interviewing the new women's tag team champions, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Also, did you hear the stuff about Alba Fire's family? And why everybody's everyone's saying that this is why she won the belt, probably. So apparently, not too long ago, her mom and dad came to visit in the United States. It was like one of the first times, maybe only the second time or whatever that they've ever been to the United States. They got hit by a truck. Her mom died, passed away. Like,
wait, what?
Yeah, crazy story. I just heard this over the weekend after the title win and everything, because people were saying that, oh, is that the only reason she won the belts? Because WWE felt sorry for her or whatever? Like, horrible, tragic story. Apparently, her parents were visiting her in Florida. They were hit by a truck walking, trying to cross the street or whatever. Her dad had some injuries, but her mom ended up passing away. This was only like 2 months ago, maybe a month ago. So it's like,
I do remember her like saying something about that on her social media.
Let me see. It was
social media.
Yeah. And so a lot of people on Saturday after the pay-per-view, they were like, oh, did she only win the belts because they felt bad for her mom, But I don't know. It says WWE superstar Alba Fire lost her mother in a horrific accident while on holiday. Regine Mitchell, 51, died after being struck by a vehicle in Orlando. So, yeah. Crazy, crazy story. Again, feel for the family. I get it. I've lost a parent as well, so. But anyways, so Jackie Redmond's interviewing them. They're all happy to be the champions, this and that and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, here comes Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. You got to remember here. There are a couple things to remember here. Last week on Raw, Shayna and Zoe basically squashed them. And then at the pay-per-view, was it Alba pinned Shayna to win the tag titles. Regardless, though, Shayna walks up, Zoe walks up, and they're like, your win means nothing. And I'm like, means nothing. She fucking pinned you. She's like, we squashed you last week. So just so you know, we're coming for you. But not right now. Keep our belts warm. We're going to try and get into Money in the Bank. And then after that, we'll come for the tag title. So eventually they're going to do Isla Dawn and Alba Fire defending against Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. But it's just weird because it's like, okay, yeah, they beat them last week before they won the belts. Yet Alba pinned Shayna. So Shayna and Zoe, to me at least, need to re-earn this title shot. I don't know. What are your thoughts on them potentially just getting a shot because they beat the champs before they were the champs?
I mean, they did get pinned at the
That's my whole thing.
Clash at the Castle.
If
so
it was,
so it's kind of like, you guys lost though. Why should we give you a title shot?
if it was Bianca or Jade getting pinned, that'd be a different story. Being like, hey, we destroyed you guys last week. We didn't lose at the pay-per-view. Here we go. Also, you see the video of Bianca basically telling Jade, "Hey, we lost, but keep your chin up. Don't let everyone know you're upset." Did you see that?
Nah.
There's a video of them walking back up the ramp after the match, and you can tell Jade is not happy. Like, Jade looks kind of annoyed and upset. And Bianca literally walks up and she goes like this. She's like, "Chin up. Keep your chin up. Smile. Chin up." I'm like, oh, damn. Basically telling her, it's a different company. You ain't going to always win. Remember in AEW, she was like 60-something before. She had like 60-something wins before a loss. It was like they kept her very protected. She never lost. She was always just the dominant whatever. But it's like, hey, sometimes you win. Or a lot of times you win, but sometimes you lose. And that's how I took that video. I could be interpreting it wrong, but I took it as Bianca telling her, chin up, put on a happy face. You might not be happy we lost the titles, but that's what you got to do. Sometimes you got to get beat. Not all about you. That's how I took it. Is Bianca telling her, hey, we don't win them all. Got to be a team player. So eventually we get back to the ring. Carlito makes his way out there. He's got Dom and JD with him. And then we go like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then we go to a break. And that's when we got the cool spot where Carlito's on the apron. Dragon Lee runs at him, jumps over the top rope, hits him with a Hurricane Rana, gets slow-mo replay, go to a break. So later on, Liv Morgan walks out in Dom's vest. Dom says that he wants his vest back and asks, where'd you get it? Zelina Vega then ran down, attacked Liv Morgan from behind. Dom then took a cheap shot at Ray as Wild broke up the fight between Morgan and Vega. Dom then shoved Wild into the ring steps, so Ray hammered away on Dom. The ref was distracted, so McDonough tripped Dragon Lee off the ropes. Carlito followed this up with the backstabber and pinned him. It was just there. Just a match to build up the whole LWO. I don't even know what the storyline here is. Is it Judgment Day and LWO? But why is Liv involved? I'm so confused in where this is all going. And the one thing I don't like about this is that it has the World Heavyweight Champion kind of muddled in it. That's the one thing I don't like about this, is that Damian Priest is somewhat connected to all this. And it's too muddled for me to have your world champion connected to where are we going kind of thing. What are your thoughts on all this, the match and the everything that ensued with it?
Yeah, I'm also kind of confused by it. Like, I think the whole LWO stuff, that's only with like the LWO and Carlito. I think that's the route they're supposed to go with it. And like Liv is supposed to be filled with like Dominic.
Right.
And Damian Priest kind of like doing his own thing with the world title.
Like, I don't mind the LWO Judgment Day thing, because you've got, Carlito's friends with Dom. So Dom wants to help Carlito because Carlito's got beef with the LWO, sort of, kind of. And so you got that all intertwined together. But it's just like, I don't like that the world champion is involved in all this, because it is not a top level feud to me. I mean, granted, you also have the women's world champion. Liv Morgan does not come off as, to me, honestly, I keep forgetting Liv's even got that belt, if I'm going to be completely honest. Because Liv,
she's doing too much. She's doing too much stuff with Dominic right now to make you forget it.
Liv, to me, is not doing anything as a champion. She is not coming off or being portrayed as the champion. She's being portrayed as this damn sex bot that does want nothing more than Dom to eventually fuck her. To piss off Rhea, I guess. I don't even understand that. So we then see Drew McIntyre walking down the hallway. They say Drew's coming out next. We had some glitches on the screen. Crink, crink, crink. Pat McAfee and Michael Cole talk about it's tonight the night. They both say, I think it is. Then we go to the back. Actually, I think we go to a break and then we go to the back. And Alpha Academy's there. Gable walks in. He starts talking down to them again. He's talking down to Otis. He's talking down to Maxine. And Otis is packing his bag, and Chad looks down, and he's like, Otis, what are you doing? What's going on? He's like, we're leaving. Like, what? He like looks up, looks over at Chad, and he goes, we're done. And they leave. All three of them, Otis, Maxine, and Tozawa. Chad then screams that they left, and said, Chad then screams as they left and said that they weren't done until he said so. Gable then says, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to go win Money in the Bank. I'm going to go cash it in, and I am going to become the world champion. Something Otis couldn't do. Remember, Otis lost his Money in the Bank briefcase to The Miz. Miz then cashed it and became a 2-time WWE champion. Whole thing. So Gable is now vowing to be better than Otis, win Money in the Bank, not lose his briefcase, successfully cash it in. But as we saw later in the night, Gable may be dead.
Oh yeah, I gotta send you this. Someone made this on Twitter. I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, the in memory thing? You did send it to me.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, before the Joe Gacy tweet. So, like, I like all this.
Apparently there's a lot of people. I think I saw Braun Strowman on the floor as well.
See, I didn't fully. I need to go back and reanalyze it because I was kind of like the whole, oh, crap kind of moment. Like, this is amazing. But I want to go back and I may make a video of just going through and analyzing and trying to pick and poke. Who is this? Who is that? What is this? What is this? Could this mean? You know, I want to kind of like, what are there any hidden Easter eggs and what could they mean kind of thing? So I may go, we'll talk about the whole thing here in the recap, but I may do more of an in-depth dive on the segment, the 5 minutes in another video as well. But yeah, I'm liking this. Finally, the Alpha Academy have said, screw you, Chad. We've had enough. And I'm like, boom, we're at that peak. Any longer stretching this out, like I said earlier, and it's going to be too long. Now it's all about, where does this lead to? Is this going to lead to an Otis Chad match? Is it just going to lead to Otis and Tozawa are now a tag team and Maxine's their manager? Chad Gable's going to go do his own thing. I'm very interested because of the way that this has been built up in such a good way. I'm now interested in the payoff and where it leads to.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how this goes as well.
So Drew McIntyre makes his way out to the ring. Footage is shown of him throwing a Bret Hart level tantrum at Clash of the Castle after the show went off the air, putting his hands on Corey Graves, yelling at the referee, and all kinds of other things. They said that, I think it was Michael Cole said that McIntyre was actually fined for his behavior following the pay-per-view. McIntyre's in the ring, and he's just like, CM Punk. CM Punk. CM. You know what? I can't do this anymore. Looking around, he says, screw this company. I quit. I thought it was good, except for some reason, the way he said, I quit. The line delivery there just felt a little weird to me, but he was just like, screw the, like the way he said it, like pissed off, screw this company. But then he said, I quit, like he was almost trying not to laugh. I don't know, maybe I'm overanalyzing it, but it was like, screw this company. I quit. Is how it came off to me. Like the I quit almost didn't feel sincere. So he jumps out of the ring, starts walking up the ramp. Pierce then comes out. He's like, Drew, no, let's talk. We can handle this another way. We can do this differently. This doesn't have to be it. And then they cut. And the show just goes straight to a break. What are your thoughts on McIntyre quit WWE?
It's gonna be interesting to see how they play this out.
Yeah. Like we talked about, like we talked about earlier, they got what 6 weeks or whatever till SummerSlam. I believe that's when we're going to get him and CM Punk. So they're just doing something in the meantime. We'll probably get more of something of this when Punk's on SmackDown Friday as well.
Also, what they could do is CM Punk can keep making references
Mm,
about Drew, and then Drew can like come back, get all pissed off. It's like, you want me, you want my attention? Fine, you got it.
right.
Maybe he does like an appearance like somewhere else. I don't know.
That's what I would like. One shot somewhere, pop up somewhere else to make it be like, oh, okay, you are gone, ish, kind of, whatever. So Triple H apparently,
DNA, Drew Galloway.
I'm saying it. What is it? The 15th, 16th of July 13th, 14th, maybe it is the Slammiversary show. That'd be a cool one. Him versus Moose for the title. So apparently Triple H spoke to McIntyre briefly during the break, and McIntyre just walked off. Pierce followed him, but McIntyre just kept on walking. Hard to hear what they were saying. So, moving forward, we got a tag team match. It was Damage Control's Dakota Kai versus Kairi, or Dakota Kai and Kairi Sane versus Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. This match was kind of built up last week when Damage Control was beating down Lyra Valkyria. Carter and Chance came out to make the save, and we're here now. Nothing happened in the match at all. It was a 2.5 minute match. Sane hit Carter with an insane elbow, but Katana Chance broke up the pin. They then knocked Katana out of the ring, and Lyra Valkyria came out to kind of support them against Damage Control. Carter then set up for their double team move. Kai stopped it. And then for some reason, kind of like turned her attention completely to Lyra. This was weird. So like, Kairi's down in the ring. They're doing stuff there. Dakota Kai is then just standing there, yelling down at Lyra for like a minute almost, it feels like. Finally, Carter used the opportunity to give Sane a DDT. She then kicked Kai. They hit their little after party move, which Katana Chance was off on. He hit that 450, but like the 450 didn't really connect well. It looked weird. It was awkward. They then pinned Dakota 1, 2, 3, and Lyra celebrates with them outside the ring. Super nothing happened in match at all. What do you think?
I mean, it was okay.
I mean, the post match with Damage Control backstage was better than the whole match.
Yeah, it really was.
So EO is sitting on a production box, production box or whatever. You got Kairi standing here, you got Dakota standing here, and EO's just like, Damage Control has to change, or I will change this myself. She gets up, she storms off. She's pissed. We already saw her pissed at them so much that she destroyed that room that one week.
Oh yeah.
So she ain't happy with them. Also, thank you, Kid Vicious. He says Slammiversary is July 20th. I was a week off. Bang says maybe Punk gets in Money in the Bank and Drew plays off this I quit thing and costs CM Punk the opportunity. Possible, but word coming out today is that Punk may not be cleared by Money in the Bank. May not be cleared till late July, which would then set him up in time for SummerSlam. But I think we'll know more about that on Friday. So Sami Zayn enters the ring to watch the next match. When discussing what Braun Breaker did to Ricochet, Cole said, who knows if we'll ever see him again. Then we get a 12-minute match that was really good. Like, really good. And then we get a DQ finish. Just damn Kaiser coming out here attacking Sheamus. So Braun Breaker hit a running clothesline, but Sheamus responded with a backbreaker and a rolling senton. Sheamus knocked Braun off the ring and hit a clothesline off the apron. Braun knocked Sheamus off the apron moments later. With Sheamus leaning against the announce table, Braun hit a leaping clothesline off the apron, sending them both over the table. Pat McAfee lost his shit here. Sheamus then fought out of a rest hold after a break, but Braun dropped him with a gut buster for a 2. Sheamus then fought back with some strikes, a clothesline, and a swinging side slam for a 2. With Sheamus sitting on the top, Braun leaped on the top rope and presumably wanted to do a Frankensteiner, but he slipped. And they just kind of fell over. Not a good looking spot there for Braun Breaker. Sheamus then responded with a white noise for a 2. Braun hit a clothesline, but Sheamus caught him with a lifting knee for a 2. Sheamus then did the 10 beats of the Bowdrin. Sheamus set up for a bro kick, and that's when Ludwig came out, tripped him up, slammed his knee against the ring post, and the ref calls for the DQ. Sheamus went after Kaiser afterwards. Braun then nailed Sheamus with a big spear. Officials followed Braun to the aisle, and then they crossed paths with him and Sammy. Kaiser then placed Zayn's leg on the ring steps. He then went to run around the ring and do his. Too many people doing this run around the ring thing. Tried to do his run around the ring thing and do the ring steps, but he was hit with a spear from Braun Breaker. And there we go. So now they got all this stuff where it's like, it's Braun and Sammy. It's Sheamus and Kaiser. But what are we doing? Are we building up to Braun and Kaiser versus Sheamus and Sammy in a tag match? What is your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, I'm kind of confused by it.
I mean, I'm not super confused. I'm confused by the way they did it. I don't like the DQ. That's what I don't like. The DQ was very disappointing based off of where it went to or where the match was going and stuff. I would have loved to see Braun Breaker beat the veteran Sheamus and be like, look, I just beat this guy, multi-time world champion. Sammy, you're next.
Yeah, but then it's like,
I would have preferred.
well, the way they had,
I would have preferred a Kaiser coming out after Braun pins Sheamus. Like what I would have liked is Braun spears Sheamus, pins him 1, 2, 3. He's celebrating, and then all of a sudden, boom! There's Kaiser to pick the bones. Afterwards,
like did
Sheamus.
You see the camera?
Go for it.
I'm sorry, but like,
no.
Did you see the camera work? Like for that Ludwig getting speared by Braun, that was beautiful.
Yes, and again, we could have still got that great post-match angle, but I wish they gave Braun the pin, and then Kaiser would have came out being like, "Oh, Sheamus is down. I'm gonna go beat him up while he's down. I'm gonna go get him while he's already down and out." That's what I would have preferred, because I get it. They didn't beat Braun. It's not like Braun got pinned, but I wish Braun would have beaten somebody like a Ricochet, or like not a Ricochet, but like a Sheamus here, the veteran that has won almost everything, has done just about everything. And so I thought it would have been a great win and a great stepping stone win for Braun Breaker. That's just my thoughts there, though. So we got a funny little segment here. Dom's walking around. Hey, have you seen my vest? You seen Liv? She got my vest. Anybody see my vest? And Liv's over there. Hey, Dom. She's in a little hallway or whatever. And she's like, come over here. And she like backs herself up against the wall. And she's like, you want the vest? Take it off of me. And Dom's like, ugh. She's like, I'll help. I'll even start it. So she zips it a little bit, right? And so Dom's like, all right, I need my vest back. So he starts to unzip it. And you see behind, here comes Priest. And Priest is like reading something. And he looks up. He's like, Dom, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just trying to get my vest back. I just need my vest. He's like, get your stuff. Go to Clubhouse now. Dom quickly like grabs the vest. Liv turns around. He pulls the vest off of her. She's like, bye. And he's just like, what are you doing? Leave the poor guy alone. And Morgan's like, you know he wants me. Because he's like, he wants nothing to do with you. And she goes, he wants everything to do with me. She walks off, and Priest is like, man, she loca. I thought this was a great segment. I thought this was paid it off for the whole Liv stuff earlier that was kind of annoying. We got a great little Damian Priest, Dominic thing here. I just left him going, Dom, what the hell are you doing? Get back to the Clubhouse, go. So, what do you think of it? I liked it.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah. I don't know what the payoff here is with Liv and Dom. I don't understand that.
It's a lot more confusing with Rhea not being there.
Exactly.
Because the whole plan was supposed to be Dom screwing up and costing Rhea the belt.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now that Rhea's not there, now it's like, what's going to happen now? Like, what are they going to do? FaceTime Rhea and Rhea's going to chew out Dominic?
I mean, they did say, was it last week or the week before when like the first Liv stuff started? Priest was like, hey, you talked to Rhea at all about what's going on? He's like, yep, I talked to her. We're fine. We're cool. So it's like Rhea's in the loop. Dom's told her there's nothing to worry about. But it's like we also know that Dom and Rhea are not a romantic couple. They've made that known on television. You know? So it's like, that's even the more confusing part. It's Dom and Rhea are not boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. And so it's like, what is really Liv's motive here? What is she trying to take from Rhea? Her best friend? Her friend with benefits? Maybe? I just don't get, because we know, like I said, because we know that the Dom Rhea relationship is not a romantic one. There's a flirtatious thing to it, but friends can flirt and whatever and goof around. But because it's not a real romantic relationship, I don't get what the point of all this really is with Liv trying to, quote unquote, steal Dom from Rhea. Especially, like I said, everyone knows real life Rhea's with Buddy Murphy. We know Dom is married. He wears his damn wedding ring. So, I don't know. I think it's more convoluted than anything. I know a lot of people are enjoying it, but to me, it's just, I'm a little confused. So we got an interesting segment here. So yesterday, WWE announces tomorrow on Raw, Karrion Kross will be taking on Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods retweets the post and they're hyping it up. And then all of a sudden the post gets deleted. We don't get Xavier Woods versus Karrion Kross. The Karrion's there with Scarlett backstage and he cuts a promo on the New Day. He challenged either of them to face him in a singles match with no one at ringside, no seconds, no none of that. He hoped that it would be Kofi and figured Kingston would want Woods to stay in the back anyways. We go to the New Day for a response. Kingston said that, Kross, you haven't done anything. You won the NXT title once, but since then, what have you done here? Nothing. What have we done? Greatest tag team of all time. Most tag team championship wins, this and that. Woods then says that Woods then mentions Kross's challenge. And then Kofi steps up and is like, and I'm going to accept it next week. You versus me. Woods then kind of looked perturbed, I guess you would say. Annoyed that Kofi kind of took the match instead. So, I don't know. Why announce Woods versus Kross yesterday, only to not give it to us today, and then now not do it next week? I kind of get where they're leaning towards. It's like Woods was going to accept it and Kofi bumped in there, but I don't know. What are your thoughts on all this?
I mean, I honestly didn't think it was that big of a deal.
It's not, but it's like it's just a weird thing because we know what Triple H, it's like he announces something, he likes to pay it off. And there was no reason to not, like, what they should have done yesterday, and it's a timing thing. They didn't have the time for it tonight. So I don't know. It's just weird that it got announced and then didn't happen and this and that and whatnot.
It was mainly just a timing thing.
So here's my question. Do you think all of this will lead to a Kofi Woods breakup? That's what they want us to think, that that's potentially the end game.
I mean, would you really want the breakup to be like this, though?
I wouldn't want the breakup at all. I feel like if they want if they want to break them up so they can do singles things, they could still be a group, a team, a faction, and do singles things. I don't know. Nothing against Woods. I think Xavier Woods is great. I see him floundering on his own.
I mean, trying to think. I mean, they have kind of hit their peak, in my opinion.
Kinda.
Like the New Day.
I mean,
They did.
They've been around for like almost 15 years now as a group, as a tag team.
Almost 10 years. I'd say
That's it?
next year will probably be their 10th year.
When did the New Day start? I thought it was
2015, I believe.
Oh, okay. I was thinking.
Hang on.
I was thinking more 2011, 2012, but you could be right. You're better with dates.
The New Day?
Yeah, you're better with dates than I am.
Hang on. They did not become a thing in 2012.
Yeah, I'm probably wrong. July 21st, 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were closer than I was.
Yeah, so like
when they were
a year. I'd say next month will be the 10-year mark.
When they were supposed to be a group of reverends, preacher men. remember those
That's
early
with the vignette.
Yeah, you remember those early vignettes where they had their church choir
Preaching.
and they were preacher men?
Was that the original plan?
Yeah. They were supposed to be a heel group, and they were supposed to be like this like southern, church group, whatever. Yeah, they were supposed to be like southern heel. I don't know if they were eventually supposed to be like a cult thing. I don't know. But the original thing was they were supposed to be a heel group, and they were like all preacher kind of guys. So,
Again, I mean, I know they were kind of like a heel for a little bit.
let me see if I can find
They were heels for like about a year.
ish. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see anything here that I'm reading about like what the group. Oh, here we go. The stable originated from an idea backstage by Xavier Woods, who pitched it to WWE writer Michael Notarly. After not being given storylines or much time on screen, he worked on creating a snarky, intelligent, running his mouth. Okay, no, this isn't for the new day. This is just for him. He wanted to be like a know-it-all kind of like punk kid kind of character. He said Biggie was in a similar situation, not getting much time on TV, and the two were going to be paired together. They started pitching ideas in order to create their new characters. The third men then kind of fell into things as Kofi Kingston became included, who was also at a low point in his career. They had doubts that WWE would like Kingston in the role, who had been a babyface his entire career. He had not turned heel yet, so this would be a change for Kofi Kingston, and they were unsure if it would work. According to Woods, quote, 3 guys who came from kind of the same background that just wanted more from life, more from their jobs, more from their friends, more from everything around them. Oh, we lost Luke. What happened? So they considered adding a woman to the group as well. Sasha Banks was almost added. And Big E revealed that Alicia Fox and Damian Sandow were also considered as faction members as well. And give me 1 second. See if we can get Luke back here.
I think I'm here.
I hear you, but I don't see you. I hear you, but you got no video.
Sorry, my Wi-Fi.
Oh, you're good. You're
went
good.
out.
It happens.
Uh,
Once you get your video back up, we'll pop you back on screen.
I got to turn
There we
my
go.
camera on.
We're good.
There we go.
Damn intro played again. Anyways, 2 things were announced for next week's Monday Night Raw. Men's qualifier for Money in the Bank: Braun Strowman, Chad Gable, and Bronson Reed. So it's like 2 big guys and Chad in the middle. And in the women's, we got Lyra Valkyria, Shayna Baszler, and Kairi Sane. I think Shayna for the women? I would almost say Chad for the men, but I don't know after Chad got killed tonight by the Wyatts. Bronson Reed.
I want Bronson Reed.
Yeah. I'm saying Bronson and Shayna. Who do you got for the women?
For the women, I got Lyra.
You think they put Lyra in this right after coming off of the Queen of the Ring finals as well and losing that? I mean, I can see it. Like, I was on the fence, Lyra, Shayna. That's the only reason I went Shayna, because like Lyra just did the whole Queen of the Ring thing. But Lyra and Io both being in the match and having beef does make sense. So then, like,
yeah,
Lyra can almost win, and then Io pulls her
plus
off.
If Lyra doesn't,
go for it.
Plus, if Lyra doesn't win the briefcase, she can still look pretty strong, though.
Yeah. So speaking of Money in the Bank qualifying matches, the main event was the men's Money in the Bank qualifying match. Jey Uso cutting a promo in the concourse with the fans. He said he plans on winning tonight and then cashing in the briefcase. He goes, "Oops, I mean that heat case." Cole said that McIntyre has deactivated all of his social media accounts and we are unsure what is going on with Drew going forward. We then get a three-way, Jey Uso, Finn Balor, Rey Mysterio, 15 minutes and 45 seconds. Jey Uso wins this match to qualify for Money in the Bank. Really fun match. I liked it. I thought these three worked so well together. Such great, like their styles are all, I wouldn't call them all high flyers. Because it's like Finn's not a high flyer, but he does do that coup de grace, and he works well with these kind of guys. They all worked well together. I thought these three, this may be like the best qualifying match we're going to get, because I don't know if you can get three more guys this just in sync that's going to mesh this well. Balor immediately started things off going fast. Jey Mysterio shook hands at one point as well, but Rey wiped out Balor off of a dive, and then about 2 minutes in, we went to a break. Rey then hit Balor with a seated senton and a springboard crossbody for a 2. Rey used a crucifix pin on Jey for a 2. Balor tried a schoolboy on Rey and only got a 2 off of it, just trading a bunch of quick falls. Rey then went for a 619, but Balor knocked him down with a clothesline. Jey then hit Balor. Oh, we lost Luke's video again. We'll keep him like that until we get him back.
All right, I'm back.
You're good, you're good. Rey then went for a 619, but Balor knocked him down with a clothesline. Jey then hit Balor with an enziguri, but Balor connected with the Pele kick. They went to a break again, only for about 3 minutes. Rey then fought back off the top of the Hurricane Rana. Jey speared Mysterio and got a 2. Balor then shoved Jey off the top, and Rey hit Balor with a 619 to the gut. Rey then followed this up with a sliding splash to the outside and a 619. Mysterio then gave Jey a 619, but Rey gave them both 619s again, just going crazy. Rey then went to the top, but Dom ran out to stop him. Rey knocked him down, but McDonough dropped Rey. Remember, it's triple threat, so no DQ. McDonough and Carlito then attacked Rey, but then Strowman would run out with his music playing and chase Judgment Day away. Jey then super kicked Balor for a 2. Balor then hit a sling blade and got another 2 off of it. Rey then got back in the ring, but Balor caught him and drove him into the turnbuckle. Balor hit Rey with a coup de grace, but Jey followed immediately with a splash on Balor and pinned him to pick up the victory. So this was great. Finn hits the coup de grace, jumps on Rey, 1, 2. Jey hits the splash. Looks like his knees go right into Finn's gut. He then pins Finn, 1, 2, 3. Jey is qualified for Money in the Bank. They've also told us that I think it is, let me pull up the image really fast. 6 people in total in Money in the Bank, I believe. Let me see. I got it right here. I think it's a 6-man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 6 people will be in Money in the Bank this year. What do you think of the match and Jey winning and qualifying over both Finn and Rey?
I think this was pretty expected that Jey was winning.
Right. I would have liked to see Finn in here as well in Money in the Bank. So that's why when I saw the match get announced, I was like, crap, Finn's not in Money in the Bank.
I mean, they could always do like a second chance qualifier.
Ooh, you're right. I didn't think about that. Well, let me think. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm going to see something really fast. 1, 6. Well, yeah. Here's an idea. Okay, second chance. All the people that lost, put them into Battle Royal.
Yeah, and then have Finn win it.
There you go. Because I want this dynamic. There's just something that wants me to see. And we may not get it if Seth wins the belt, but I want to kind of see Damian with the belt and Finn with the briefcase.
That would actually be perfect.
I know. I'd love it.
Ooh, do you know what I actually thought of?
Go for it.
Let's say at Money in the Bank, they do this angle where Jay's about to win, and then someone in the bloodline, let's say it's like Jacob Fatu, screws over Jay. And then next thing you know, Finn gets the briefcase.
Bloodline?
The bloodline screws Jay over to
Jay
involved.
I'm still thinking Finn. My bad.
No, the bloodline screws Jay over to get Jay involved with the bloodline stuff.
Yep, makes sense.
Then Finn just gets the briefcase so they can do stuff with the Judgment Day.
I like that. So then,
that's a pretty decent way to get Jacob Fatu in the company.
Very true. Then we get it. We get the Wyatt 6. Jey Uso's in the crowd celebrating. He's over there doing his thing. and a couple of the lights go out. And then more of the lights go out. And you got to think, this was not a quick setup. This closing match went 15, almost 16 minutes because they were setting up this horror scene in the back. So we see the door. The door is there just like when Bray Wyatt returned. Was it 2 years ago?
Bray Wyatt returned
was
a
it-
year ago.
It was 2023?
It was
I thought it was
October of 2022.
22. Yes, that's what I was thinking. 22.
It was almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, so like a year and a half ago. So remember, they had that door there. It swung open. Boom, there's Bray. So the door opens, and we see this light kind of shine. But if you notice, there are 6 points coming off of this light. The light then goes out, and we see a zombie-looking female crawling towards the lantern placed in the aisleway. Presumably, it's Nikki Cross. She then stands up and points like that. Camera then goes back around the door apparatus, and they start to go around into where gorilla position is. The back area was dark, filled with smoke. A few guys knocked out, and a large man in a rabbit mask and a big hammer that says help on it. You know, it's Eric Rowan. You see the beard kind of coming out from under the mask.
And the hammer, that's like Bludgeon
Yep,
Brothers.
Bludgeon Brothers hammer. Camera then continues into gorilla position, and it's destroyed. Lights are flickering. There's sparks at one point as well. We see another masked man. Presumably, that is Dexter Lumis. As
you can just tell by the arm tattoo.
Right, exactly. And he is the Buzzard. And so, cutting through a little more, we see another man who I believe is Joe Gacy. He's got the pig mask on. The pig mask also has like a gas mask, little snout looking thing on it, which is cool. We see, though, Chad Gable is sitting up against a production box with blood coming down his face. Finally, we see another masked man, Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas. He's creepily walking around, leads the crew out to where Sister Abigail, Nikki Cross is. Firefly lights fill the arena inside of Corpus Christi, Texas. The new faction all stands together. I'm going to pull this image up on the screen just for context here. This is amazing looking. Whoops, and I actually did the wrong thing. We got this image here on the screen. Let's pop this up. Why won't it come up? There we go. We got this image here. As we look at it, we've got Bo here as Uncle Howdy. We got Eric Rowan here as Ramblin' Rabbit. We've got Dexter Lumis here as Mercy the Buzzard. The pig was what? Husky? No. What was the pig's name again? It was a playoff of Husky Harris.
Yeah.
Can't remember exactly. And then Nikki Cross here, presumably Sister Abigail or Abby the Witch.
I'm looking up the characters right now.
So as you do that, I'll just finish off the segment here.
It was Huskus the pig.
Huskus the pig. There we go. So Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, has the lantern. He holds it up high, as you see here in the image. He then puts it in front of him. He proclaims, "We're here." Blows it out. As you see here, you can kind of see here on the screen. This tweet is from Joe Gacy. So Joe Gacy confirming he is part of this group. He says, "We're here." We also have this here if you want. See if I can get this to look any bigger. So there's Dexter Lumis as Mercy the Buzzard. There's Eric Rowan as Ramblin' Rabbit. Sister Abigail. and then the Huskus the pig. Very cool, very awesome. This segment ruled. Like the way they did this, making backstage look like a murder scene from a horror movie. I loved it. Luke, what'd you think?
Oh yeah, this scene was awesome. Many people think, is Chad Gable dead?
Right? I don't know.
And like my whole like question is like, do they actually have like Eric Rowan and Joe Gacy and like everyone else like play these like characters like as characters,
Yes.
or do they
Well, go for it. Go for it. What were you saying? Sorry, I cut you
or
off.
do they like or do they do like a vignette of like, I brought these guys like into this family. One of them used to be here and I brought them back.
Mhm. So
Maybe they
well,
maybe they can, sorry to cut you off.
no, no,
So like
no, 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 no. Go. Finish your thought.
so like maybe they can go the route of like Eric Rowan. Like he's been here since day one, but then he was left for dead and I brought him back. Dexter Loomis, he like lost his way and I brought him into this family. Like Joe Gacy, he is loyal, but his original family wasn't. Like Nikki Cross was trying to find her friends, but we'll be her friends now or something.
Nikki Cross lost her sanity and she needed us to find it. So I like your idea there, playing off of their former stuff. But that is the question though. Are they just going to be these characters, or are they themselves with the masks and everything? That is the big unknown. And the other big question, because as soon as this segment aired, SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis sent out a tweet with just a bunch of question marks. So, is this a Raw only group, or can they go to any brand they want? They're going to show up on SmackDown Friday in Chicago? They're going to be on NXT? That's the other big question.
I'm pretty sure they did the QR codes on SmackDown as well.
They've done the QR codes on every show. That's the big thing. That's why I'm thinking there is the possibility of this being an interconnected over all brands storyline. So, and people in the chat asking about Alexa Bliss. Alexa wasn't there. Alexa ain't part of the 6. The 6 is Bo, Rowan, Gacy, Loomis, Nikki Cross, Bray's number 6. It's Wyatt's 6. And it's not 6, number 6. They're 6, SICKS. Wyatt 6.
Yeah,
playing
I don't
off,
know when Alexa Bliss will be back.
Yeah, I don't either. But it's playing off that, they're sick and demented in the head. They're crazy, but there's also 6 of them. So, as this point, all we can do now is speculate on where we think the story is going to go, but I thought this was freaking amazing. I did not expect something like this. I expected like them all just coming out the door. If I'm going to be even more honest, I only expected Bo, Uncle Howdy, and then I thought we would get the rest over time or within the week or something. But I did not expect them all to show up tonight, to be honest. So I loved it. I thought it was great. It was something that we weren't expecting as far as production value and the way it was set up and done. And I can't wait to see where it leads to. And if it's more stuff like this, I can't wait. Because if we're going to get more of this over-the-top setup and imagery and just violence, give me more, please. I loved this. Because it's so much different than what we see in pro wrestling.
You know who their first rivalry can be?
Who?
Jey Uso.
It's possible because Jay won tonight and they cut off his celebration.
No, but like they can literally do the storyline of like they attack Jay. Be like, you stole our fireflies.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like you stole the fireflies from us. And now we want them back.
I like that a lot. But overall,
which I'm pretty sure, I don't know if Jay said this, but apparently, like Jay got permission from JoJo to use the fireflies.
Yeah, so JoJo had like said something on social media about it, and yeah, there was a whole thing. She was like, "It's yours now" or something like that. But I can't.
Or you can use it.
So I can't wait. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be awesome. I mean, again, Bray was the vision, the brains, the mind against the original what this is. So now it's just, we'll see where it goes. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Luke, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me over at Twitter X at Petke_21. And you can also find me over at Twitch at Young Grasshopper Luke.
With that, guys, have a great night. We'll be back here Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. Yeah. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a great rest of your week. And we'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.